Now, to help us get a better understanding on the increased prices on basic commodities, I am joined by Japheth Ogutu, CEO, Consumer Downtown Association. A very good afternoon to you, Japheth.
Good afternoon to you, Nina. A pleasure talking to you.
Okay, fantastic. Japheth, what do you have to say about the increased prices of basic commodities such as maize flour, milk and bread by as high as 5 shillings?
Thank you. I think, first of all, we have had a lot of challenges basically brought in by COVID-19 that we are currently struggling to run away from. It has also been contributed to, the high cost of living has also been attributed to by the increased cost of fuel. We've seen the government trying to increase the fuel prices, and when fuel prices go up, you expect common commodities that movable commodities to increase. So this is something that we must actually look into. Again, we remember that the government had actually relieved Kenyans on tax, the VAT tax, and the corporate tax, and even the other tax for the people who are earning less money, as less as 14,000. But then, even before the economy recovers, we've seen the government revert those decisions. So that was a very unprecedented move that I think we needed to give it maybe a duration of maybe 6 months to be able to to revert such decisions, because this situation, this pandemic is still with us. But again, just as you evaluated, and I've seen some of the consumers, they are also complaining. The situation is very difficult because a lot of goods, common goods that are used by many Kenyans, have tremendously increased in terms of prices. I was looking at prices like milk. Milk has gone all the way from 46 to 60 shillings, which is very, very high. The margin is very high. Yeah. Looking at also maize flour, which is a common staple food for many Kenyans, moved all the way from 95 shillings to about 130 shillings. That is a very, very big margin. But again, what worries people is the fact that just the other day, last month, we saw the Strategic Grain Reserve released about 3 million bags, to millers to be, supplied in the Kenyan market. But then within a duration of just 1 month, we are seeing prices going up.
All right.
So we really don't understand what's happening.
And then that is my next question to you, Japheth. Maybe in detail, could you just kind of explain to us the reason for the rise in prices?
Yeah, surely as we are all aware, the Strategic Grain Reserve were instructed by the National Cereals and Produce Board to release the maize that they had stored. About 3 million bags were emptied to the market, and this was supposed to stabilize the prices in the market, particularly for the maize flour. But then what we've seen is completely different. We are seeing prices going up instead of these ones, the products that were released to neutralize the prices down. We've seen the prices going up. So this is something that we need to, find actually the specific outcome. What has really happened to the maize that were released? Are they being hoarded somewhere, or they are actually released and some millers are not telling us the truth? So already the millers are also threatening that they are going to increase the prices more next month. This is something that we need actually a very urgent intervention. And for us, where we sit, we'll be engaging the government to find out what exactly is happening. But again, looking at other things like the common products, like a breakfast for a normal ordinary Kenyan, just moved from 200 shillings to about 400 shillings. This is ordinary Kenyan. And you can imagine people who have children, maybe 6 to 7 children or 10 children, they can't afford it. They can't afford it. Actually, a lot of Kenyans can only go for 1 meal a day because of the high cost of living today.
All right, Japheth, as the CEO of a Consumer Downtown Association, what exactly is your role, and what role do you play in protecting the consumer, or actually explaining to the consumer the increase in pricing?
Basically, we conduct research at a very low level at the grassroots level to understand the market situation and probably to get also the Kenyans' views, the consumers' views. And then we advance those, we escalate those conversations now to the government and the relevant bodies that will enable this be fixed. For instance, in this case where we've realized that the prices have gone up, we are going to engage now the government to ensure we bring back the cost of living down to the people. Because the common people, I mean, the ordinary Kenyans who have actually been sent out of their jobs because of this COVID, cannot afford to continue living today, because the rate of dependency has become too high, and I mean, a lot of people today who are jobless cannot even afford to take their children back to school, and actually that's why you're seeing even the trend of a number of people and even pupils are now going back to public schools because they can't afford even to pay in private schools.
All right.
And this is coming at a time that children are also going back to school. And people are trying to balance between taking their children to school and feeding their families. So it is a very, very awkward situation for many Kenyans.
All right.
And I think this is the time that the government should come in handy to assist Kenyans to stabilize.
Okay, Japheth, we have spoken about students going back to school, and we have also touched on the taxes being reverted. From where you sit, how best would you advise the government, or rather, how best would you if you were in the position of the government, how best would you handle the tax situation?
Basically, on the tax situation, because it's something that has already been passed through a law, we can only intervene either through the relevant ministry or department to suspend it for some time. And this can be done through a court process. We can actually seek an injunction. I think we'll be seeking an injunction on the same.
Okay.
To suspend it and since some time that we will be stable enough to cooperate with the government move.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much, Japheth. Unless you have anything to add.
Basically, I would want to urge Kenyans to, stay cautious. COVID is still with us,
Right.
and a lot of Kenyans are still suffering from this. And again, for the parents, we need to take care of our children. Those ones that go to school and come back, let's ensure that our children also are on mask every time. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. That was Japheth Ogutu, who is the CEO of Consumer Downtown Association. Just to expound on the pricing, basic commodity pricing that have risen up in the past 1 month. Now, moving on swiftly, county governments are set to get